Trevor Noah is going to be your new host of The Daily Show. Now, I gotta say, when I saw his name pop up as a possible candidate a few days ago, I was a little bit surprised because I figured between a established comedic presence or a newer up-and-comer, I didn't think they would probably go with the newest of the up-and-comers. He's only had 3 appearances thus far on The Daily Show, but apparently, and he has been described as somewhat of a prodigy, the producers saw this in him and felt confident enough to announce him as the successor to Jon Stewart when he hangs it up at the end of this year. Now, what this means for the show, I'm actually pretty interested to see because Noah obviously has a good comedic mind. He's there for a reason. They don't just pick hacks to go on The Daily Show. He's been touted as pretty much an up-and-comer who is relatively new to comedy, not really having going through a lot of the ups and downs of the ascent in the comedy world because he's been doing so over in South Africa, where comedy is pretty much a relatively new thing, so he's one of the best people over there doing it. I do think it's somewhat interesting that they're choosing somebody not necessarily from America to take over one of the most important roles in satire of American politics. But I think one thing that John Oliver has kind of taught us is that outsider perspective of coming into this place, the land of the free, the land of opportunity, gives somewhat of a unique perspective of getting there and realizing that, holy cow, our system is really jacked up sometimes. So I think the outsider perspective of expectations versus how things actually are will be pretty interesting to see play out. In the bigger picture, Noah's background is just incredibly intriguing. He's only 31 years old, like I said, has been climbing the comedy ladder in South Africa, comes from a diverse background, apparently speaks 6 languages, and at one point his mom was jailed for conceiving him because the relationship between her and his father was essentially unlawful in South Africa. So that's an idea of the background. You would think somebody coming here to this land of opportunity would have this sense of optimism, and seeing that things aren't indeed all hunky-dory would have a lot of things to say. Obviously, the rest of the Daily Show writing staff is still going to play a pivotal role in the delivery and the direction the show goes, and it's going to be interesting to see a softer spoken person like Noah in that hosting chair that Jon Stewart a lot of times has gotten really fired up and passionate over, I think a couple times in recent weeks, and all of it has been pretty good. So it's going to be a change, and I think there's going to be an adjustment period. I know some of the candidates that I mentioned in my top 5 Daily Show candidates that I'll link right here for you if you didn't see it. Not that it matters anymore, but it's at least pretty interesting, hopefully. But some of them I could very easily picture having that smooth hosting kind of flow and even getting fired up at times. With Noah, I don't quite see it yet, but at the same time with some candidates, I didn't see that in Tina Fey as a possibility, really. But with the idea that she could bring other things to the table that would be really valuable to the show. So, who knows what Noah's got left in his bag of tricks? Like I said, my exposure to him thus far is very limited, and I think that's the case with most people, as he's somewhat of a bigger celebrity overseas than he is in America so far. So it's going to be very interesting to see where it goes. I'm curious to hear from other people that are more familiar with Trevor Noah's background. If you have any experience of his comedy styles, what he's like off camera from his limited experience on The Daily Show so far, please tell me about it in the comments below. I'm very eager to know, and I'm going to definitely take some time to look up and watch some of his stand-up that he's done because obviously want to get to know this guy because I really enjoy The Daily Show. Anyway, that is the big news. I just wanted to weigh in a little bit, give my thoughts. If you have other thoughts on Trevor Noah other than just his comedy background and educating me a little bit, please leave them in the comments below. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And above all else, everybody, thank you for watching. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, click the text above where it says subscribe, and the annotation will take you right there to do it. And below that are links to a couple other videos I've done, both of which I think you'll probably enjoy. Check them out.